E from MarketWizards.com and eMiniWizard.com. It is about 11:15 on the 14th of August, 2019. E from Market Wizards and eMiniWizards.com, reminding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose. Well, this 2-minute chart has certainly kept anybody that had a trailer in this for the target that we suggested may be coming up, which would be the 58.5, and below that 53 as the next target. So anybody that's got 58.5 time and price, make sure you are paid. We have not suggested to be buying against this until we get evidence that we have a support found. We said we're testing for support. I thought this morning that we would come into a range and get a range that would try to stabilize, but there's been no evidence of that. So again, you can have your opinions, but you want to trade what you are seeing on a chart. And there's been no evidence that today should be a buy day based on a 2-minute chart, a 5-minute chart, a 10-minute chart. We're all underneath this. This is the umbrella trade. And you've got to take out the low from the previous day before you can get any new territory. But realistically, we have not been able to break on a 10-minute chart. This green and this red line, these have all been pushing. And when we get to wherever the low becomes, then we can get a snap. And our base chart is the 15, but we've been using the fast ones. And this 15 has given no evidence yet. We know we're ahead of ourselves. So at 58.5, my suggestion is cover. And the reason we talked about that potentially is because of last week's range. That this is the middle of last week's range, that target line that I put here. So my suggestion, and this is about a 10-point lower low than yesterday. So make sure you're paid in here and just relax. And no trades, no new trades in this zone below, obviously, yesterday's low. You just can't do it. And then if we get above that and stay above it, then, okay, the low is potentially in. So our resistance, we said, was 95. That's intact and staying intact for now. And I thought today we would get a little bit more PPT buying, as we approach yesterday's low, but we got no sign of it, just 8-10 point ranges. So in a trend day, there's nothing better, in my opinion, than moving averages. There just isn't, because it helps show you the slope. And this is very unusual when we open up this deeply. I've seen days where you short in the hole and then all of a sudden you're back up over the blue line. Those days are absolutely killer. But a day like today and a day like yesterday, so out of character. So caution for anybody that is a conservative type trader. We've come almost 90 points from yesterday's high. So we'll have one more short today that anybody wants it can take. And obviously the high of RTH is resistance still broken. If we break that, then probably the low is in, but I'm not expecting that during lunch unless there's some kind of a tweet. So no new ads down in this territory, just cannot. And this was a chase type trade today. And if you had a trailer, that was the easiest way to win, is just allow it to work. And this is a chart we had looked at earlier. Said let's use 95 resistance. This was the chart where we had talked about we need to resolve this range. And we had used the 20 idea and the 41 idea up here. We just broke that. Remember, we said paid for sure by 42s, and we had a completion target at 44, right? We said make sure you are paid. Then we get the chop, and then the overnight break, and then the plunge and the obligatory knockout. These traders, they got everybody both ways. Very, very challenging pattern, no doubt. So I'm thinking at 52, 53 that we had talked about, the bottom of the yearly. Let's look at that again one more time, just so we see how important that is. And that's this box that we talked about here. Said we're inside this box, and we aborted yesterday right up at the top of it, and today we're right down at the bottom. So this is the range that's being negotiated clearly. From this swing low to that swing high, and then coming back. And round numbers, you can see we're at the middle of it. So need another day or two to try to clarify it. But if you've had a good day, nothing to do. Your primary trade is likely close to being done time-wise. And I think it's pretty good time to capture and just go sidelines and relax for a bit. And that's what I'm going to do. So this is the OTF. And that's referring to a weekly idea for the bigger frame. We know that the resistance we had up here, 49 and a quarter, we reminded everybody 47 and a quarter. 47 was last year's high, and that was resistance till broken. And now we've got a nice pullback today, totally undermining yesterday's trade. We need to look at the next support levels. So that area shows up, this bar right here, that specific bar. And I am looking at this 52 right now, 51 as our most important support. First of all, it's target 2 today at 51, so doable. But as we approach it, we'd said be very careful. And we'd said 53s based on the yearly level, make sure you're paid by 53. So we kind of split that difference, just called it 52. So we're using that notion right now as support. For anybody who's got the primary trade and the overnight trade, make sure you are paid. And if you're buying, using a stop of like 52. And you don't have to buy. It's just, I think it's time to take profits. So let's call 52 support until broken. And this chart helps to substantiate that idea. So does this chart, 53 and a half. And yesterday that paid for sure by 42s. So these are bigger moves, but this gives us a way to understand the market structure. And obviously the retest is yesterday's low, so keep an eye on that. that low right in here, 67, 68. And that's the problem, as we said, with a day like today, you wind up chasing, and then all of a sudden you'll chase too low. The timing is time and price much better right now to make sure you're paid. And you still have to get by this guy right here, the red line coming down and the green line. It's a 5-minute chart. We'll hit one more bounce today, but if you've already got your payday, just go sidelines and relax. And the old methods that used to work, like morning after trend day and convenient trades and so on, the only way to help yourself is to be reading moving averages, and you cannot fight them. Just establish your first range as we did, and then as you're waiting for stuff to materialize, you're reading lower highs and lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, IB low breaks, that kind of thing. All right, catch you guys in the Slack room. I hope you had a good morning. This is not easy trading. If it's not your cup of tea, stay sidelines. Zeke has the right idea when he said that, I'd rather miss a trade than get myself in trouble. And we saw yesterday just how, stupid the move can be, and then we have just as stupid a move today. Can go to any low, but we are 90 points off of yesterday's high. So keep that in mind.